Good morning. It got cold overnight. It snowed again. It's the 18th of March and it snowed on the mountains and now the wind's blowing the cold down here. So you see my fuzzy blanket I got here and I got my layers on. I got my other shirt on, but I had to layer a second shirt over the top of it. Got cold this morning. So now you're going to see me 2 days in a row in the same shirt. Oh well, such is life. Anyway, I was going to come on today and do a hand washing and do a recipe for hand sanitizer and all of that video. And I changed my mind because there are tons of them out there. A lot of them will not work for you. You need rubbing alcohol of at least 70%, preferably 90% alcohol, because you're mixing it in with other stuff. And if you are using alcohol, you need a very high proof. It needs to be 120 to 150 proof. So you're looking for moonshine, you're looking for white lightning, you're looking for Everclear, you're looking for the very high proof vodkas. If you're going to use that in your hand sanitizers, you have to have basically a lot of alcohol and a little bit of other stuff. The alcohol is what kills the virus. But guys, you don't need hand sanitizer. Soap is more effective. Soap breaks down the fat that holds the virus together. So if you use soap and water, even though, like out here, we don't have running water, but you take the soap you take a drop of water, put your soap on your hand, you scrub your hands. I mean, surgically scrub your hands. You're scrubbing between your fingers, your fingertips, your palms. The back of your hands is important, but it's not as important as this side of your hand. This side of your hand is the part that you need to scrub. And it needs to be, I think they said 20 seconds. I always do mine like you do your T's. You sing your ABCs. You know, sing your ABCs twice through while you're washing your hands and scrubbing your hands. I sing it once through as I'm putting the soap on and once through when I'm rinsing the soap off. That's the way to get rid of the virus if you're worried about it on your hands. Okay, so that's what we were going to do this video on. And now, see, I've already talked about it for 3 minutes. But everybody's got hand washing videos out there. Everybody's got hand sanitizer videos out there. Everybody's got stuff about coronavirus. So I don't want to talk about coronavirus. When I did my video, what's all the panic about? Everybody was like, you shop for once a month. How do you do that? What do you do? How do you do it and everything? And so this video today is going to be a little bit longer because it's going to take me a little longer to explain this to you. And if I keep looking over here, I have my notes. So that, because I don't go shopping without my notes. First of all, I don't go shopping without my notes. And I have a very detailed plan of action when I do go shopping. I do my chores on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of each month. Those days, I am white. I used to try to put it all on one day. And it'd take us 12 to 13 hours to get everything done. By the time I got propane, by the time I got animal feed, by the time I got groceries and everything. And then the truck that we were using broke down and we had to use a little car and we had to make more than one trip because the car wouldn't hold enough. And so it made us have to go in more than once. Sorry. The wind is really blowing and it got cold overnight. And I think I'm getting a sinus infection again. Oh, because I can't stop sneezing. And I haven't been anywhere to get sick, so my sneezing is not anything to do with that. It's funny, because I just barely got over, and the weather started getting nice, and then all of a sudden the weather changed, and now I feel like I'm getting sick again. Um, okay, so we're going to start with the basics. I don't buy these things every single month. I buy them, like the first time, I buy them. And then each month I go through my pantry, I go through my refrigerator, I go through the freezer, I go through everything, and whatever we've used through the month, then I repurchase. So I'm going as if I've made a list, as if I didn't have anything in my pantry, anything in my freezer, anything in my refrigerator, and how I go about it. Okay? So, number one is rice. I love wild rice and brown rice. But if you're putting it in food storage, it cannot be wild rice or brown rice. They have oils. You have to use white rice for food storage. But we usually have about 20 pounds on hand. So if I didn't have any rice, I'd buy 20 pounds of rice. Now, it could be the little flavor boxes of rice. It could be a big bag of rice. It could be all mixed up, but I buy 20 pounds of rice. Or I have 20 pounds of rice in my house at all times. I do not like beans. I hate beans. But I keep 20 pounds of dried beans in my house. And they can be canned, but I keep dried beans. And I keep 20 pounds of dried beans in my house all the time. Because my children and my hubby love beans. I don't. I keep 20 cans of canned meat. It could be tuna, it can be chicken, it can be Spam, it can be Vienna sausages, excuse me, it can be beef and gravy, it can be whatever. At least 20 cans of canned meat is in my pantry at all times. I keep 20 cans of canned fruit and 20 cans of canned vegetables. Now, when I say canned vegetables, most of mine is diced tomatoes and tomato products. I do have a couple cans of green beans, a couple cans of peas, a couple cans of corn. But like I said, it doesn't have to be 20 cans of one type. It's just 20 cans. And then I keep 20 cans of soup. These I use for quick meals. And when I say soup, I don't mean just soup. I mean Chef Boyardee's raviolis, SpaghettiOs, anything that is like pour it in a pan when you're sick. You pour it in a pan and you serve it like that. That's what I am considering soup, and so it's canned meal. I guess you would call it a canned meal. There's 20 cans of that. Then I keep a number 10 can. That's the great big, looks like a gallon can of powdered milk. You can buy it in the box, but you got to put it into something else because it will not stay in the box very well. And if you have any moisture or anything, it will destroy it. So you want a great big number 10 can of powdered milk. And the reason why I have that is because I shop once a month, mind you. I buy regular milk, but that only lasts maybe the first week. Now, if we need milk for cooking or we need milk for something, I'm using the powder milk. When I do my baking, when I do all my meal preps and everything, I use the powder milk. The fresh milk is for cereal and for drinking and things of that nature. Okay? Then cereal. Now, I'm not a fan of cold cereal, but my family is. So, I usually buy the great big bags of generic. They don't come in. I buy 2 of those for my family. But, like, in October, they had cereal that had gone on sale for 50 cents and $1 a box, and I bought 2 cases of it then. So, I don't have to buy cereal for a long time. Oatmeal. I always have at least 5 pounds of oatmeal in my house, for the fact that, one, I love oatmeal, but I use it in a lot of cooking and bread recipes and stuff like that, because it helps to make those items more filling. Plus it gives a nutty flavor. I really like it. Now, everybody in my house except for my husband likes peanut butter, but I'm a big time peanut butter eater. And so we always have 2 large jars of peanut butter. And for us, for me it's creamy because of my teeth. I have to keep creamy. But one's creamy, one's chunky. I keep 10 pounds of pancake mix on at all times. Usually they have these great big bags of pancake mix. I usually have 2 of them. One of them I put into a number 10 can and put it in the back part of the cupboard. And then as I use it, I've emptied one, I buy another. Honey. I always have about 10 pounds of honey on hand, but I use it for my tingers because I do herbology. I do make tingers. I do a lot of holistic stuff. So, I use a lot of honey in that, and honey will keep forever. If it crystallizes, just heat it up and it'll go right back to liquid. I keep 2 bottles of jam, usually elderberry or blackberry, and then a strawberry or a raspberry. And then 2 large, the great big, like gallon-sized syrups. Again, like the pancake mix, one goes in the back, one stays up front. When one empties, I buy another, and I just keep rotating and through. Pasta, I keep 20 pounds of pasta, and this is, again, like all the time thing. I keep 20 pounds of pasta in my house all the time, and it's not one kind, it's all the way across the board. Macaroni, spaghetti, fettuccine, lasagna, wheat, rainbow, vegetable, all of it. Spinach. I keep a lot of dried pasta in my house. Then I keep a case each of spaghetti sauce and Alfredo sauce, because I use those a lot in different meals and stuff that I make. Don't make spaghetti very often. I don't make Alfredo very often, but I use the sauces in a lot of different meals. And if you ever needed to, you could make Alfredo or spaghetti. I keep on hand at all times 5 pounds of non-iodine salt. Then I keep 2 of the great big cardboard cartons of the iodine salt. The 5 pounds of salt I use for making jerky, preserving things, canning, all of that kind of stuff. So I keep a lot of salt on hand because it's very necessary, but you can't store the 5 pounds of salt lasts a long time. You can't store iodized salt. But I have to eat iodized salt for my thyroid, so regularly I just buy the big cartons. But in my pantry I have 5 pounds of salt because I use it for the meals and for preserving things. I keep 2 gallons of oil. 1 gallon is peanut oil and 1 gallon is canola oil, and then I also keep 2 quarts of olive oil on top of those 2 gallons. We always have coffee, tea, and hot chocolate. I don't keep a lot of any one of those. It's because I only drink coffee and hot chocolate in the wintertime and tea in the summertime. So I don't keep a whole lot, but I replace it as I use it. Of course, I keep a fully stocked cupboard of condiments, spices, and seasonings. And that's going to be per individual. Like, 3 of my boys will not touch mayonnaise to save their life, and the other ones will go through the mustard like crazy. I hate ketchup, but the family likes ketchup. So, you buy according to the sizes that you need for your family of those things. We go through a lot of pepper and cayenne pepper and things of that nature because I use spices and herbs for other reasons than just cooking. And then we keep 2 great big things of mixed nuts for snacking. We keep 20 to 40 prepackaged nuts. Prepackaged meals, sorry. Prepackaged meals like Hamburger Helper, macaroni and cheese. There's 20 or 40 of them up there. Again, I have a disability, and oftentimes I will get to the point where I can't cook. I can't get up. And my boys need something that they can go right into the kitchen and know how to make and can prepare it. I also keep on hand 2 to 4 cases of ramen. I keep 4 to 5 packs of tortillas. Again, I shop once a month. If I buy bread, and I do, I buy bread or I make it. I buy bread. But you buy bread, and like after the first week, it can start getting moldy, or it can dry out, or bread just does not last. But tortillas, you can freeze, you can bring them out, they will last the entire month. You can wrap your sandwiches in them, all that kind of stuff. So I always buy 4 to 5 20 packs of tortillas and have them on hand. Of course, I keep on hand, but we're jumping a little bit. Okay, in my pantry, inside the house, in the pantry, I keep a number 10 can that has all my seeds for my garden. It's like all my gardening seeds. Anything I want to plant in my garden, I buy double each year, and then I stuff them in plants. And like, there's years at Christmas time when I give a seed vault, what I call a seed vault, to my family or to my friends who I know love gardening as their gift. I also keep hydrated lime from the hardware store. Not the pull stuff, not the gardening stuff. The stuff from the hardware store is called hydrated lime. I use it to preserve my eggs. I have chickens, so I don't buy eggs. I preserve my eggs that way. But we go through, 5 dozen eggs. 4 to 5 dozen eggs a month. Yeah. We eat eggs about every day, every other day. 2 per person, so yeah. When we go through it, when we only have the 3 of us here, we go through at least a half dozen whenever we eat eggs. And when all of us are here, we easily go through a dozen. And usually it's more than that. I buy citrus fruit because it will keep longer. Apples, squash, potatoes, onions, garlic, carrots, and cabbage. Because these things will last anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks without going bad. Yeah, I buy the grapes, I buy the strawberries, the blackberries, the blueberries and stuff, the lettuce. I buy all of that kind of stuff. But that again, I only buy because it has to be ate in the first week. Maybe a week and a half. Maybe for some of it. But the citrus fruit, apples, squash, potatoes, onions, garlic, cabbage, and carrots will last you the full month. As long as you keep them in a cool, dry, dark place, yeah, they'll last you the whole month. I buy usually about 15 pounds of cheese at a time, and then I cut it in blocks, dip it in paraffin wax, and seal it, and then wrap it in butcher paper and put it in the pantry. It doesn't even have to be in the refrigerator, because it's waxed and aging inside that wax just fine. The only other thing that I do, and I have to do it during the summertime, is I have to make sure that it's in an airtight container where the rodents can't get into it. Okay, Let's skip over here to the freezer. We've talked a little bit of, most of everything I've talked to you so far does not need to be in the freezer or the refrigerator. Most of it does not. I have a propane refrigerator. It is tiny. I have a propane freezer. It is super, super, super tiny. It's not going to keep anything. Then I have a chest freezer that I keep at my son's house, plugged in at my son's house. I could run it on the solar, but right now my inverter and my controller will not handle it, so it was moved over there. So if you have a chest freezer, so 90% of what's in my house is not in the refrigerator. Or it's in the refrigerator and it's turned way, way down. Okay, so outside of the, we're going to be talking a couple things, snacks and freezer. Okay, one, my husband loves popcorn. I do not buy microwave popcorn because we don't use the microwave because the generator has to be on for that. And by the way, if you hear right now, the generator's on. My husband's out cutting wood because it snowed last night. So we buy the non-microwave popcorn. It's like the popcorn kernels, and that's why we buy so much canola oil. Is because he uses it in his popcorn making. He probably eats popcorn every day. Protein bars and crackers. Yes, that's another thing that I buy, and chips. But again, those are more snacky. They're not something that if my pantry doesn't have them, we're not going to die. So we pick them up on occasion. I do keep 25 pounds of flour, but it's not in my pantry. It's in my long-term food storage. I buy 25 pounds of flour every single month. But I make my rolls, I make my biscuits, I make my cakes, I make my bread. I make a lot of things with flour. I buy 10 pounds of sugar. Again, I use it in baking. And I'm trying to restock up my sugar because my sugar got wet that was in storage. It cracked. Somehow the container I had all my sugar stored in cracked. And moisture got in there and just destroyed all my sugar. So I'm buying 10 pounds of sugar a month to restock that up. Plus I use it in my baking and stuff. My coffee and my drinks and stuff. I buy 30 to 50 pounds of meat every single month. Now that sounds like it's a lot, but actually I'm only buying 30 pounds. That's a pound of meat for 3 to 6 people per day. That's counting your sausage, your bacon, your chicken, your hamburger, your steaks, everything. So I'm buying 30 pounds meat. The other 20 pounds is your sandwich meat, your specialty meats, things like that. So I buy 30 for sure. And then it can go up to 50 a month. But generally that 50 doesn't climb a great deal unless like it's right after Thanksgiving they put turkeys on 50 cents a pound, or they put right after Christmas sometimes they'll put hams on sale for 50 cents a pound. Then I'm buying more meat outside of my normal monthly meat. Twice a year where we live they have case lot sales in March and September. In March and September, I buy 100 plus pounds meat because they have like where you can buy a quarter of a cow, or they have a variety meat box or whatever, and it goes on really special, but it only goes on twice a year. And so I buy those and store them in my freezer, and then or cure them, smoke them and cure them. Then the other thing I keep in my freezer is I keep frozen fruits and vegetables. I usually keep, I don't know how to tell you how many I keep. The little $1 packages of vegetables, I probably keep 20 of them, 20 to 30 of them per month. and fruits. It's whatever goes on sale, frozen fruits whenever they go on sale. Then I pick up a few and throw them in my freezer for smoothies and stuff. I'll do the same thing with ice cream when I can find it on sale. I've already told you about the ramen and the tortillas. So this is the basics of what I can remember that I have in my house. And then I just replace it as I use it. Because I'm never storing anything that I won't eat other than beans. And that's because my family eats them. And we eat from our storage every month. So whatever we are storing or whatever we are putting aside each month, we're pushing that stuff forward, eating from that and putting back into it. So, yeah, so I do have a food storage. It's not a year or 2 years. It's not even 3 or 4 months. But I have a food storage so that a little bit extra, because sometimes you just don't make it into the store I shop for the month and I might not make it to the store. The other things that I buy, and I have to turn to my other list. The other things I buy every single month, or as I need, but pretty much every month, is the household stuff. And I know this video is going to be long. I told you, I warned you, because we're talking about monthly shopping, and it's a huge chore. When you move, first I moved from shopping once a week to twice a week. Then I moved because my husband was getting paid when he was working. He was getting paid every 2 weeks, and I would get paid once a month. So I moved to shopping every 2 weeks. And then when my husband became disabled and we only got paid on the month, I moved to monthly shopping. Then when we moved out here, it was like, thank goodness I knew how to monthly shop, because we can't run that far every few days. That would be just nuts. Anyway, the things in my household, and yes, again, I'm only buying these as needed. Most of this stuff, I do not need it every single month. Usually there's only 4 or 5 items that on this list that we get on our monthly shopping. But again, we're talking as if we don't have anything. So this list includes everything that I would need to pick up to restart my household stuff. Trash bags. Large trash bags. 50-gallon, 40 or 50-gallon trash bags. I get the great big ones. I think there's 50 to 100 of them in the box, and they last me 4 to 6 months. A gallon of Fabulosa. I love Fabulosa. It's one of the only chemical cleansers I will use, and it doesn't have that much chemicals in it, so I love it. Fabulosa, I usually buy a gallon of it, probably every 4 to 6 months. Large bottle of dish soap. Again, I'm buying 2 large bottles every 6 months. Yeah, about every 6 months. Laundry pods. I buy the little pods instead of the liquid because out here we don't gauge our temperature, and I was originally using the liquid soap, and every winter I would have problems because my laundry soap would freeze when I needed to do laundry. I couldn't get it out, so I moved to pods. And I buy pods about every 4 months. Laundry pods about every 4 months. 12 large rolls of toilet paper. I buy that monthly. We usually go between 6 and 8. We use 6 to 8 of them unless we have the family come out, and then there's 6 to 10 of us on the ranch at that time, and we will go through a lot more toilet paper. I buy a case of wipes. Again, I don't have running water, so I have a case of baby wipes at all times on the property. One, when the grandkids come out, they're all in diapers, and mom forgets to send a wipe. You've got wipes. But two, just to wipe things up, we don't have running water, so it's like you need to clean something real quick. We use baby wipes to clean it up. Aloe vera baby wipes. A large package of batteries. Usually it's AA and AAA, and we usually get the 24 pack, I think it is. And usually a package will last us 4 to 6 months. Shampoo and conditioner, again, I only buy it every 6 months to a year. Bar soaps or hand soap, I usually pick up 6 at a time. And yeah, that's every 6 months. About every 6 months I have to buy bar soap. Essential oils, I just buy them as I run out of them. Alcohol, I have about a gallon of it in the medical kit. Aloe vera gel, I have about a gallon of it. It's in the medical kit. Pain reliever, I have chronic pain. My husband has chronic pain. And then my son that's staying with us full-time on the ranch, he gets in pain quite often, so we usually have pain reliever every month. Zycam, I have 6 little boxes of it, I think, and I keep it in the medical kit along with the allergy medicine, Benadryl, because I have really bad allergies. So it stays in the medicine kit, and I keep, I think it's 4 boxes of 24 tablets in the medical kit. I keep honey lemon lozenges. I've had a dry cough since my thyroid went nuts and everything for the last 15 years. So, that's why my voice gets croaky like it is now when I speak too much. It's because of my thyroid. I do honey lemon lozenges for that. I keep foil, cling wrap, and wax paper in the kitchen. Paper plates and silverware. Why would you buy paper plates and silverware? We have no running water, and washing dishes is a chore. It's a 3-hour process to wash dishes. First you have to haul the water in. Then you have to boil all that water. Then you have to mix all that water to wash your dishes. Boil more water to rinse all your dishes. Dry and put them away. I'll do that for pots and pans. I'll do that for utensils. But I'm not doing it for silverware and plates and cups. Nope. Not doing it. I did it for 2 years out here. I don't do it anymore. So I buy large quantities of silverware, plates, and cups. Cat food, dog food. I buy 50 pounds, 40 pounds of cat food, 50 pounds of dog food. Actually, right now I'm buying 100 pounds of dog food. Stain remover. It's just to do your laundry. Lotion, because of my husband's amputation. He has to have that for his foot. Deodorant. Now, I buy pots of cream deodorant or crystal deodorant because in the wintertime you don't want wet because it's so freaking cold. And in the summertime it melts the stick stuff and it just becomes a puddle. So we get this little pot of deodorant that just has a little pad that you rub and then use that way. Shaving and razor stuff as my husband needs it. Toothpaste and toothbrush as we need it. I actually can't use it right now. We're still working on getting my teeth removed and getting my dentures. Hair ties. I buy hair ties about every 6 months. I buy a new brush and comb every 6 months. Bleach, I have 1 gallon. I hate bleach. I hate Clorox. I will not use it. Usually that gallon will set. I think I still have a gallon of bleach under my sink that I have bought 5 years ago. If I haven't taken it to my mother or my mom when she was out here, and She uses bleach on everything. But I hate bleach. I hate the chemical stuff of bleach. I hate what it does. Light bulbs for the lights. And we just buy those as needed. Magic erasers, again, just buy as needed for cleaning. Murphy's oil soap, again, as needed. Mike's meds is a monthly thing. His medication, I don't take medication. I refuse to take medication. I do everything by herbs other than my pain relief, and I usually take a leave or something over the counter for that. Band-aids in the medical kit, triple antibiotic cream in the medical kit, peroxide in the medical kit. Keep approximately a gallon of peroxide on hand at all times. Ziploc bags in every size imaginable. The snack size, the sandwich size, the quart size, the gallon size, the gallon and a half size. And that's mostly because I'm always storing stuff. I'm breaking things down. Your flour comes in a paper sack. I put it in a Ziploc. Everything goes into a Ziploc. So that covers the household things that we need, that we purchase and everything. And basically, like I said, I do not buy all of this stuff every month. No, my budget could not afford to buy it every month. But we build it up over time, and then we just replace it as we use it. And yeah, it's a huge thing, and one of these days I will take you on and I'll record our monthly chores. Maybe. Maybe I'll take you along and record the process of what it takes to do everything once a month. But I'd rather do it once a month and be dead for 3 days than have to do it 5, 6, 10 times a month. Yeah, I want to get it done and over with. Okay, that's how you do it the way I do it. Bye-bye for now. Love you.